Deadpool and Wolverine, heavy spoiler review. I know the movie's been out for over a week now, but still, if you have not seen this movie, you've been warned. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. So the movie starts off with Deadpool going to Wolverine's grave site at the end of Logan, and he digs up Logan's dead body, which turns out to be just his skeleton at this point. And he has a full-blown conversation with Logan's corpse right before the multiverse time cops show up to try to arrest Deadpool. And he whoops their ass to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. But like with any Deadpool movie, this actually happens probably about a quarter way in. And then there's a flashback to the beginning where Deadpool's trying to find his purpose. And he has a talk with none other than Happy Hogan, aka Kevin Feige, to try to figure out where he meets in the middle with this whole MCU thing and trying to be an Avenger. It's a double entendre. But then while Deadpool is slowly trying to find his place in this world and not being a superhero anymore, he notices that he's being watched. And we find out that he's being watched by none of these multiversal time cops. And Deadpool gets approached by the head of these multiversal time cops. And they give him purpose again, saying that he can join the Avengers. He can be a full-time member of the MCU within character, but at the cost of his own universe being wiped out. So that's when Deadpool makes a decision to say, screw you, I'm going to save my universe, but I'm going to get help to go do it. And then that's when he goes on the time-space continuum chase to go try to find the perfect Logan, perfect Wolverine to help him save his universe. So Deadpool makes several travels throughout the multiverse to try to find the perfect Logan to help save his timeline. And by far, my favorite one was the Henry Cavill version of Wolverine, aka Calverine. And then you even get a comic accurate 5'2", 5'3" Wolverine, and even the dark red and yellow version suited Wolverine. And then Deadpool goes into a bar and finds the most recent variant of Logan, and then he tries to persuade him to come with him, as we see in the trailer, and he drinks himself silly, and then he finds himself dragged out of the bar. And then at that point in the movie, that's when Wolverine dons his classic blue and yellow suit, claws included. And that's when Wolverine and Deadpool have their first fight. The second one was better, but I'll get into that one. And then they get stopped by Nicepool, a Deadpool variant. And that variant is also played by Ryan Reynolds, except he is less vulgar and doesn't have the healing factor, but I'll get into that later. And then that's when they run into Dogpool. Dogpool is just as much the comic relief in this movie, if not more than Deadpool himself. Then Deadpool and Wolverine get word that there's someone who can help them in their travels. So without further ado, they travel there. But guess what? They've run into this dystopian Mad Max type of world where they see all the variants of past superheroes and supervillains from past Marvel universes. And one of them, they've run into Chris Evans. But he's not playing who you think he is. No. He's playing the Fantastic Four Johnny Storm. And he's a lot more vulgar and foul-mouthed than his Captain America counterpart, which makes for more one of the funnier moments in the movie. So after this conflict with all the X-Men villains, they manage to subdue Johnny Storm, played by Chris Evans, and then they go to the realm of Cassandra Nova, aka Charles Xavier's long-lost twin sister. And she is a powerful Omega-level mutant to the point where she can reach into your mind and read your thoughts. Not to the degree of Charles Xavier, but probably a more brutal way to do it. And she hilariously obliterates Human Torch by ripping his skin off and leaving nothing but his bones and organs. And Cassandra Nova proceeds to obliterate Human Torch by separating his bones and skin from his body, leaving him nothing but a pile of organs. And while they do this, Wolverine and Deadpool try to figure out a way to get out of there. Deadpool and Wolverine barely escape with their lives from Cassandra Nova's compound, and they do it in a beat-up Honda, in which ends up being one of the funniest and most exciting fights in the whole movie, right before Wolverine just completely lays into Deadpool, saying that he is a trash human being, he's annoying, he can't even say, how you expect to save the world when you couldn't even save a relationship with a stripper, and how you dying would be the best thing, but it's a joke because you're pretty much immortal. Then, for the second time in the movie, they get the fighting out of the system, and then they decide to enlist some kind of help, because they can't go back there to Cassandra's compound without getting some kind of help, because she's an Omega-level mutant. And oh boy, do they get some help. And what better way to get some help than from some of the past Marvel movies? Jennifer Garner's Elektra, Wesley Snipes' Blade, and, even though this movie never came out, Channing Tatum's Gambit. And we even see a grown-up X-23, and then there's even a little heartfelt moment between X-23 and this variant of Logan saying, well, I'm not the right guy for the job. I'm no hero. And she said, well, guess what? you never were a hero, but you got the job done anyway. And they pull up to that compound to T.I.'s bring them out. And man, they have the most explosive action-packed fight scene of the entire movie. This is what you call pretty much the Fox B-list level Avengers. They're right above the Defenders, but right below Marvel's Avengers. And Deadpool and Wolverine actually managed to subdue Cassandra Nova by putting Juggernaut's helmet on her, so that way she can't bore her way into their minds. And Pyro, from earlier in the movie, manages to put 3 bullets into her chest, but guess what? This only slows down her death. It doesn't kill her instantly. And Wolverine says to take the helmet off her, and guess what? She bores her way into Wolverine's mind. And at this point, we see Wolverine's past from this universe, saying that he's pretty much responsible for the deaths of all the X-Men in his universe. And he wants to repent for that. He doesn't care whether he lives or dies. But then she gives them one last helping hand by having a Doctor Strange type of portal open up for them to get back to their reality. And guess what? When they get back to their reality, all hell breaks loose because the city is in ruins because of the way that the time skip is going. And that's when they run into over 100 different Deadpool variants, and there's pretty much a kick-ass, gun-toting, sword-slashing, blood and guts free-for-all. It's pretty much the Royal Rumble, but with Deadpools. And poor Nice Pool, as nice as he is, he doesn't survive because out of all the Deadpool variants, he's the only one without a healing factor. But Cassandra Nova manages to break into the multiversal compound, saying that she's going to pretty much wipe all the realities clean and pretty much rebuild it the way she wants to, a la Thanos. But of course, at this point in the movie, they know that one of them has to make the ultimate sacrifice, that they both can't make it out, that in order to preserve their universe, one of them has got to go. And guess what? While Wolverine says that he should be the one to do it, Deadpool tricks him into thinking that he should be the one to do it. And Deadpool damn near wipes himself out trying to save all the universes, but guess what? He gets help from Wolverine at the very last minute, and it takes out Cassandra Nova. And at that point, with both universes saved, Wolverine persists to ask Deadpool what he's going to do from here, and he wants to go back to being a family man. And Deadpool asks Wolverine the same thing, and he says, well, I guess I'm just going to be a drifter, but you'll see me again soon. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But overall, this movie had everything that a Deadpool fan and a comic book action movie fan could want. Action, drama, a lot of fights, and even some comedy thrown in here and there. But anyway, that's why I give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. But anyway, that's a spoiler review. What do you guys think?